The endless void of space stretched around Jack Thompson's small salvage ship, the Lucky Find. Chunks of metal and rock floated past his viewport as he carefully maneuvered through the asteroid belt. At 53 years old, Jack had spent more than half his life as a salvage operator, finding valuable scraps that others had missed. Another day, another credit, Jack mumbled to himself, running a hand through his gray-streaked beard. His ship's sensors beeped, catching his attention. Something unusual had appeared on the scanner. "Linda, you seeing this?" Jack called over the comm to his business partner. Linda Miller's voice crackled through the speaker. "Yeah, I'm looking at it. Strange readings. Not your typical space debris." Linda had been Jack's partner for 15 years. While Jack had the instincts of a born scavenger, Linda had the brains. Her technical knowledge had saved them from more than a few dangerous situations. "I'm going in for a closer look," Jack said, adjusting his course. As the Lucky Find drew closer, Jack could see the object through his viewport. It looked like junk, a battered hull with strange markings, its surface scarred and pitted from years of drifting through space and colliding with micrometeorites. But something about it made Jack's instincts tingle. "It's big," Linda noted from her station. "About the size of an old Earth corvette. But I'm getting almost no power readings. Just a faint signal, could be background radiation." "Let's scan it and send the data to Earth Navy," Jack suggested. "If they don't want it, maybe we can claim salvage rights." Hours later, Commander Tom Reed of the United Earth Navy looked at the scanned data with obvious disinterest. "It's space junk, Thompson," Reed said, his face filling the video screen. "Our techs analyzed your scans. That thing's been drifting for who knows how long. No valuable metals, no recognizable technology. Not worth the fuel to tow it back to Mars." "So you don't mind if I claim it?" Jack asked, trying to hide his excitement. Reed shrugged. "Fill out the standard salvage claim forms. I'll approve them, but you're wasting your time." After ending the call, Linda looked at Jack with concern. "You really want to waste our resources on this? The scan shows nothing valuable." Jack couldn't explain it, but something about the derelict called to him. "Trust me on this one, Linda. I've got a feeling." "Your feelings have gotten us into trouble before," Linda reminded him, but she was already preparing the salvage claim forms. She knew there was no stopping Jack when he set his mind on something. 3 days later, after paying a laughably small fee for the salvage rights, Jack and Linda prepared to board the derelict. They approached in their personal EVA suits, magnetic boots clunking against the strange metal hull. "This material," Linda said, running a gloved hand over the surface. "I've never seen anything like it. Looks like standard metal alloy, but my scanner can't identify it." Jack nodded, his excitement growing. They found what appeared to be a hatch, and after some effort, managed to force it open. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness inside. "Air's thin but breathable," Linda announced, checking her instruments. "Temperature's cold but not freezing. Somehow this wreck still has minimal life support." They cautiously removed their helmets. The interior was dusty and dark, with strange angular writing etched into the walls. The corridors were built for something roughly human-sized, which struck Jack as oddly convenient. "Look at this writing," Linda whispered, running her fingers over the alien symbols. "Nothing like any language I've ever seen." As they moved deeper into the ship, they found what appeared to be a control room. Dead panels lined the walls, and a central platform stood in the middle. "Careful," Linda warned as Jack approached the platform. "Don't touch anything." But Jack's curiosity got the better of him. He placed his hand on what looked like a flat panel in the center of the platform. To his shock, the panel lit up with a soft blue glow beneath his palm. "Jack!" Linda shouted in alarm. A beam of light shot out from the ceiling, scanning Jack from head to toe. Both humans froze in fear. Then the entire room came to life. Lights flickered on, and holographic displays appeared in the air around them. The strange writing flowed across the screens, eventually shifting and transforming into English words. DNA analysis complete. Human species identified. Compatibility, 89.7%. Acceptable range for interface initialization. What the hell? Jack whispered. A three-dimensional image appeared before them. A ship, but not the broken derelict they were standing in. This image showed a sleek, powerful vessel with lines that suggested speed and danger. Welcome to the Harbinger. A calm, genderless voice spoke from around them. I have been waiting for suitable inheritors for 4,327 standard cycles. Linda grabbed Jack's arm, her fingers digging into his suit. Jack, this is alien technology. Active alien technology. Before Jack could respond, compartments began opening in the walls, floor, and ceiling. Thousands of tiny machines the size of insects poured out, moving with purpose. What are those things? Jack asked, stepping back. Repair drones, the voice answered. This vessel has been in dormant mode, awaiting activation. The restoration process has now begun. The tiny machines swarmed over every surface, fixing, rebuilding, restoring. The ship hummed with increasing power, systems coming online one after another. Jack and Linda watched in amazement as the dead ship came alive around them. Panels that had been dark now glowed with soft light. The air grew warmer, fresher. I don't understand, Linda said. Why us? Why now? The holographic display shifted, showing a star map. This vessel was programmed to seek compatible species. You are not the first to find a Harbinger, but you are the first whose genetic structure allows interface with our systems. Jack's mind raced with possibilities. What exactly is this ship? The voice seemed to pause before answering. The Harbinger is a prototype stealth reconnaissance vessel, designed by the predecessors. Its true capabilities are hidden by its appearance. As if to demonstrate, the hologram showed the exterior of the ship transforming, the battered hull repairing itself, sections shifting to reveal weapon ports and engine systems that had been completely hidden. This isn't junk, Jack whispered in awe. It's the most advanced warship I've ever seen, just disguised as junk. Linda looked at him, her eyes wide with the realization of what they had found. And now it's yours. Around them, the ship continued its transformation, shedding its disguise bit by bit as the repair drones worked tirelessly. The Harbinger was waking up, and the universe would never be the same. 3 weeks had passed since Jack and Linda discovered the alien ship. They had moved the Harbinger to a remote part of the asteroid belt, away from common shipping lanes. They told no one about what they had found. Not even their closest friends knew why they suddenly stopped taking salvage jobs. Jack floated in what they now knew was the command center of the ship. The repair drones had been working nonstop. What once looked like a dead hulk now hummed with power. Smooth panels glowed with soft blue light. The air felt clean and fresh. Old-timer, show me the weapon systems again, Jack said. The holographic display appeared in front of him. The ship's eye, which Jack had nicknamed Old-Timer, responded in its calm voice. As I have explained before, the offensive capabilities of this vessel were designed for reconnaissance and escape, not direct conflict. Linda snorted from her seat nearby. What Old-Timer means is that this not-for-direct-conflict ship could probably take out half the Earth fleet without breaking a sweat. The hologram showed what looked like simple points of light along the ship's hull. But Jack had learned these were actually advanced energy weapons, capable of precision strikes at ranges Earth's best weapons couldn't match. I still don't get why you predecessors built something this powerful, and then made it look like junk, Jack said, scratching his beard. The hologram shifted to show the exterior of the ship. Parts of it still looked battered and worn, though the repair drones had fixed the actual damage. Deception is a powerful strategic advantage, Old-Timer explained. The Harbinger was designed to observe potentially hostile species without drawing attention. Its external appearance is an adaptive camouflage system. Linda moved to stand beside Jack, studying the hologram. So it's meant to look weak and harmless. Smart. Over the past weeks, they had learned much about the ship and its creators. The predecessors, as Old-Timer called them, had been an advanced civilization that vanished long ago. The Harbinger was one of many ships they had sent out to find intelligent life that might one day face the same threat that destroyed them. "You still haven't told us exactly what happened to your people," Jack said. The hologram shifted again, showing a star map. "That information is restricted until full integration is complete." Linda rolled her eyes. Of course it is. Despite the AI's secretive nature, it had been teaching them how to use the ship's systems. Jack had learned to pilot it using nothing but his thoughts, through a neural interface that Old-Timer had helped install. Linda had mastered the sensor systems, which could detect ships and scan planets in ways Earth technology couldn't dream of. "I've been thinking," Jack said, floating back to his seat. "We need to tell someone eventually. This ship, what it can do, what it means, it's too big for just us." Linda frowned. "Tell who? Earth Navy? They'd take it away in a heartbeat. The corporations, they'd tear it apart trying to reverse engineer it." "I know, but—" An alarm suddenly sounded, cutting Jack off. Linda rushed to her station. "We've got company," she said, her fingers moving across the holographic controls. "Earth Navy patrol ship, heading right for us." "How did they find us?" Jack asked, settling into the captain's chair. Old-Timer's voice answered. "The ship's stealth systems are still at 68% capacity. The repair process has caused occasional energy spikes that could be detected by primitive scanning technologies." "Primitive? That's Earth's best military tech you're talking about," Jack muttered. A communication request flashed on the main display. Linda looked at Jack, waiting for his decision. "Accepted," he said after a moment. The face of a stern-looking Navy officer appeared on screen. "Unidentified vessel, this is Captain Mark Davis of the UEN Vigilant. You are in restricted space. Identify yourself and state your purpose." Jack took a deep breath. "This is Jack Thompson of the salvage ship Lucky Find. We're working on a special project." Captain Davis frowned. "Our scans show you're aboard a vessel significantly larger than any registered salvage ship, and those scans are having trouble getting clear readings. Care to explain?" Before Jack could answer, Old-Timer's voice spoke in his head through the neural link. "A partial truth may be beneficial here." "We found something, Captain," Jack said carefully. "An old derelict, got salvage rights approved by Commander Reed. We've been fixing it up." Commander Reed mentioned nothing about a ship of this size. Davis said, his suspicion clear. "We're sending a boarding party to inspect your vessel. Prepare to be boarded." The communication ended. Linda looked at Jack with worry. "What do we do now?" she asked. Old-Timer's hologram appeared between them. "I have completed my evaluation of Earth's communication networks and historical records. Humans have shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity. You would be worthy successors to the predecessors' legacy." "What does that mean?" Jack asked. "It means I can now share more information," Old-Timer replied. "The threat that destroyed the predecessors is approaching this solar system. Earth must be prepared." Jack and Linda exchanged shocked looks. "What threat?" Linda demanded. The hologram changed to show strange ships, unlike anything they had ever seen. "They are called the Vex. They consume worlds and civilizations. They destroyed the predecessors despite all our advanced technology." "And they're coming here?" Jack asked, his throat dry. "Yes. Early scouts have already entered your solar system's outer regions. The main fleet will arrive within 1 Earth year." The silence that followed was broken by Linda's quiet voice. "We definitely need to tell someone now." Jack nodded, his mind racing. "But we need to be careful about who and how." The ship's sensors alerted them that the Navy boarding shuttle was approaching. "I suggest a demonstration," Old-Timer said. "Show them enough to convince them of the threat, but not enough to fear this vessel." Jack thought for a moment, then nodded. "Can you make the ship look more normal, less alien?" The adaptive camouflage can create such an illusion, Old-Timer confirmed. Do it, Jack ordered. And Linda, pull up everything Old-Timer has on these facts. We're about to have a very interesting conversation with Captain Davis. As the boarding shuttle docked with the Harbinger, Jack felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Everything was about to change, not just for him and Linda, but for all of humanity. The Harbinger wasn't just a ship. It was humanity's only hope against a threat they didn't even know existed. And somehow, Jack Thompson, a simple salvage operator, had become the key to humanity's survival. The meeting room on the Earth Defense Headquarters station was silent. 8 military officers sat around a large table, their faces grim. Jack and Linda sat uncomfortably at one end, feeling out of place in their worn salvage crew clothes. Commander Alex Wilson paced at the head of the table. His uniform was crisp, and his face showed no emotion, but his eyes kept darting to the holographic display showing the Harbinger. "Let me get this straight," he said, stopping to face Jack. "You found an alien ship. You activated it. And now its computer is telling you that an alien invasion fleet is on its way to destroy Earth." Jack nodded. "That's about it, yes." Wilson exchanged looks with the other officers, and we're supposed to just believe this because I've shown you the scanned data, Linda cut in. Data that your own scientists have confirmed is beyond our current technology. One of the officers, an older woman with short gray hair and admiral insignia, leaned forward. "The scans are certainly concerning, but this talk of an invasion." She was interrupted by a loud alarm. A young officer burst into the room, his face pale. "Admiral Reeves," he said, "long-range detection just picked up multiple objects entering the solar system. They're big, and they're moving fast." The room erupted into activity. Admiral Reeves stood quickly. "Put it on the main screen," she ordered. The display changed to show a star map of the solar system. Several red dots appeared at the edge, moving toward Earth. "How many?" Wilson asked. "At least 50 ships," the young officer replied. "Maybe more. They're beyond Neptune, but at their current speed, they'll reach Earth in 2 weeks." Jack felt his stomach twist. "It's them. It's the Vex." As if confirming his words, all communication systems in the room activated at once. A harsh, mechanical voice spoke through the speakers. "Attention, inhabitants of the third planet. This is the Vex Dominion. Your world has been selected for harvesting. Surrender all habitable territories, or face extinction. You have 14 planetary rotations to comply." The message repeated once, then silence fell over the room. Admiral Reeves was the first to speak. "Wilson, what are our options?" Commander Wilson's face had gone pale. "Admiral, there's something you should know. The Military Council, we've been aware of these aliens for nearly a year." "What?" Jack and Linda said together. Wilson continued, avoiding their eyes. "We detected their scout ships at the edge of the solar system. We've been monitoring them, trying to learn more before causing panic." "And you didn't think to tell anyone?" Linda asked, her voice rising. "It was classified at the highest level," Wilson said. "We sent diplomatic messages. They never responded." Admiral Reeves slammed her hand on the table. "The important question is, can we fight them?" Wilson shook his head slowly. "Based on our observations of their scout ships, no, their technology is too advanced. Our weapons wouldn't even scratch their hulls." The room fell silent again. Jack looked at Linda, who nodded slightly. "We might have a solution," Jack said. All eyes turned to him. "The Harbinger," Jack continued. "The ship we found. Old-Timer. I mean, the ship's AI. Says it was designed to fight these Vex. A single ship against 50. One of the officers scoffed. Jack smiled for the first time since the meeting began. "Trust me, it's not an ordinary ship." Admiral Reeves studied him for a long moment. "Explain." Jack nodded to Linda, who activated a small device. A hologram appeared above the table, showing the Harbinger in its true form, sleek, dangerous, and clearly powerful. The predecessors built this ship to survive the Vex, Linda explained. It has weapons and defenses far beyond anything humans have developed, and it chose Jack as its pilot. Chose? Wilson asked. Jack nodded. The ship's systems are designed to work with specific genetic patterns. For some reason, uncompatible. And you think one ship, even an advanced alien ship, can defeat an entire invasion fleet? Admiral Reeves asked. Before Jack could answer, the doors slid open again. A team of scientists hurried in, led by a tall woman with short black hair. Admiral, she said, we've analyzed the data from the alien communication. It matches the information Ms. Miller provided about these Vex with 98% correlation. Admiral Reeves looked at Jack with new respect. It seems your story is checking out, Mr. Thompson. There's more, Jack said. He took a deep breath. Old Timer, the ship's AI, has agreed to interface with Earth's systems. It can provide information about the Vex, including their weaknesses. And what does this AI want in return? Wilson asked suspiciously. Nothing, Linda answered. The ship was created for this exact purpose, to help other species fight the Vex. The Admiral stood up straight, her decision made. Mr. Thompson, Ms. Miller, consider yourselves drafted into Earth defense. Commander Wilson, you will accompany them back to this Harbinger and assess its capabilities firsthand. Wilson looked like he wanted to protest, but simply nodded. If what you say is true, Admiral Reeves continued, this ship may be our only hope. You have 12 days to prepare before the Vex arrive. Make them count. As they left the meeting room, Wilson fell into step beside Jack. I hope you know what you're doing, Thompson, he said quietly. The fate of our species might depend on it. Jack thought about the strange connection he felt with the Harbinger, about the knowledge Old Timer had shared with him through their neural link. He thought about Earth, his home, and all the people who didn't yet know the danger they faced. I don't, Jack admitted, but the Harbinger does. And for now, that has to be enough. 3 days later, the Harbinger hovered near the moon, its systems fully repaired. Inside, a small crew of Earth's best military personnel listened as Old Timer explained the nature of their enemy. The Vex destroyed the predecessors despite our advanced technology. The AI's voice echoed through the command center. They are relentless, adaptable, and have conquered dozens of civilizations. So why did you think humans could succeed where the predecessors failed? Wilson asked. He had been skeptical from the start, but even he couldn't deny the ship's impressive capabilities. Because, Old Timer replied, the predecessors made one critical mistake. They fought alone. Humans, despite your primitive technology, understand alliance. Together, the Harbinger and humanity might succeed where the predecessors failed. Jack sat in the captain's chair, the neural link connecting him to the ship's systems. He could feel the Harbinger's power humming around him. Through him. Well, he said with a grim smile, let's not keep the Vex waiting. Hold your position, Jack ordered as the Harbinger drifted silently through space. Ahead of them, the massive Vex fleet moved in perfect formation. From the outside, the Harbinger still looked like a piece of junk, its true power hidden beneath the camouflage of a battered hull. Commander Wilson stood behind Jack, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. 53 ships, he counted, each one bigger than our largest battleship. Linda sat at the sensor station, her fingers dancing over the controls. Their weapons are powered but not active. They don't see us. The small crew they had assembled watched in tense silence. Besides Jack, Linda, and Wilson, there were 4 others. Dr. Amy Harris, Earth's leading xenobiologist. Lieutenant Mike Rogers, weapons specialist. Tech Sergeant Ben Foster, communications expert. And Flight Officer Tom Green, the backup pilot. Old Timer, Jack said, can we get closer without being detected? The AI's calm voice answered, current stealth systems are operating at 97.4% efficiency. We can approach to within 5,000 kilometers without significant risk of detection. Do it, Jack ordered. The Harbinger moved closer to the Vex fleet. Through the viewports, they could now see the alien ships clearly. They were massive structures of black metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Their shapes were angular and strange, with no clear indication of which end was the front. "They're ugly, aren't they?" Tom commented, breaking the tense silence. "Dr. Harris," Jack said, "what do you make of them?" The xenobiologist studied the readings on her display. "These ships aren't just vessels. They're living ecosystems. I'm detecting millions of life signs, but they're connected somehow, like a hive mind." "Old-timer, is that consistent with what the predecessors knew?" Jack asked. "Yes," the AI confirmed. "The Vex function as a collective consciousness. Individual drones serve the needs of the whole." "Target the biggest ship," Commander Wilson suggested. "Cut off the head, and the body dies." Jack shook his head. "We're not here to attack. Not yet. We need information first." Using the Harbinger's advanced stealth systems, they maneuvered closer to what appeared to be the command ship, a massive vessel at the center of the Vex formation. "I'm picking up incredible energy readings," Linda reported. "Whatever powers these ships, it's nothing like our technology." Jack closed his eyes, connecting more deeply with the Harbinger through the neural link. He could feel the ship's systems as if they were extensions of his own body. "Old-timer, can we tap into their communications?" "Attempting now," the AI replied. After several minutes, strange sounds filled the command center, clicks, hums, and electronic tones that made no sense to human ears. "That's their language?" Ben asked, frowning at his communication console. "No," Old-timer explained. "That is their language, their thoughts, and their consciousness all at once. The Vex do not separate communication from existence." "Can you translate it?" Jack asked. "Partially," Old-timer said. "They are discussing harvesting plans." The holographic display showed images of Earth, then the same planet stripped of all life and resources. "My God," Dr. Harris whispered. "They're not just invading. They're planning to consume the entire planet." "Wait," Linda said suddenly, her eyes wide. "I'm detecting something else. These ships, they're not just powered by technology. They're powered by life energy." "Explain," Wilson demanded. Linda looked up from her console. "According to these readings, the Vex don't just take resources. They absorb the life force of entire worlds. That energy fuels their ships, their technology, even their own evolution." "Old-timer," Jack asked. "Ms. Miller is correct," the AI confirmed. "The Vex require living worlds to fuel their biological metamorphosis. They have existed for millions of years, constantly evolving by absorbing the essence of conquered civilizations." "So Earth isn't just a conquest," Jack said grimly. "It's food." A sudden alarm blared through the command center. Linda's hands flew over her console. "We've got trouble," she announced. "A smaller ship has broken formation. It's heading this way. Patrol sweep." "Have they detected us?" Wilson asked. "I don't think so," Linda answered. "Not yet. But their course will bring them within 500 kilometers of our position." Jack quickly weighed their options. "We can't run. The engine signature would give us away immediately." "Then we fight," Wilson said, moving toward the weapons station. "Wait," Jack said. "If we reveal ourselves now, we lose our advantage of surprise for when the main fleet reaches Earth." The patrol ship grew larger on their view screen. It was smaller than the main Vex vessels, but still 3 times the size of the Harbinger. "They will detect us in approximately 47 seconds, Old-timer announced. Jack made his decision. "Tom, plot a course that will take us behind that moon. We'll use it as cover." "We'll never make it in time," Tom protested. "We will if we use the gravity drive," Jack said. Linda looked at him in surprise. "We haven't tested that system yet. No time like the present. Jack replied with a grim smile. Through the neural link, he accessed the Harbinger's most advanced propulsion system, a drive that manipulated gravity itself. "Everyone hold on," he warned. The ship hummed as the gravity drive powered up. Stars outside the viewport seemed to stretch and bend. Then, with no sensation of movement, the Harbinger simply appeared on the other side of the small moon. "It worked," Tom exclaimed. "Patrol ship is continuing on its original course," Linda reported. "They didn't see us." The crew let out a collective sigh of relief, which was cut short by another alarm. "Second patrol ship," Linda called out, coming around the moon's far side. This time, there was no place to hide. The Vex patrol ship would see them in seconds. "Stealth systems to minimum," Jack ordered. "Divert power to shields and weapons." "Jack," Linda warned, "if we engage, the entire fleet will know we're here." "I know," Jack answered grimly, "but we don't have a choice." As the Vex patrol ship came into view, the Harbinger shed its disguise. The battered hull seemed to flow like liquid metal, revealing the ship's true form, sleek, dangerous, and unmistakably advanced. "Target their engines only," Jack instructed Lieutenant Rogers at the weapons console. "We want to disable, not destroy." The Vex ship stopped suddenly, as if surprised by the Harbinger's transformation. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, without warning, it fired a beam of pulsing red energy. "Shields holding," Linda reported as the Harbinger absorbed the impact with barely a shudder. "Return fire," Jack ordered. The Harbinger's weapons, dormant for thousands of years, came to life. A beam of pure white energy lanced out, slicing through the Vex ship's engine section with surgical precision. The alien vessel went dark, drifting powerless in space. "Direct hit," Rogers reported. "Their main power is offline." But before they could celebrate, 3 more Vex ships appeared from behind the moon. They called for backup, Wilson realized. Jack gripped the arms of his captain's chair. "Old-timer, can we take them?" "Yes," the AI responded. "But the main fleet will detect the energy discharge." "It's too late for stealth now," Jack said. "Show them what this piece of junk can really do." The Harbinger moved with impossible speed, its weapons firing with perfect accuracy. Within minutes, all 3 Vex patrol ships drifted powerless. But as Linda had feared, the main Vex fleet had noticed. The massive formation was changing course, all 53 ships now heading directly toward them. "They've recognized the predecessor technology," Old-Timer announced. "They are now moving at maximum speed toward Earth." Jack looked at his small crew, determination in his eyes. "Then we better beat them there." Earth looked small and fragile from space. Jack stood at the viewport of the Harbinger, watching as the planet's defense fleet gathered in orbit. Every ship humanity could muster had been called in. Civilian vessels retrofitted with weapons, research stations converted to battle platforms, and the pride of Earth's Navy, its 12 battleships. Against the Vex Armada, it seemed pitiful. "They're brave," Linda said, coming to stand beside him. "But they don't stand a chance, do they?" Jack shook his head. "Not without help." The Harbinger had raced ahead of the Vex fleet, beating them back to Earth by 2 days. Those 2 days had been a frenzy of activity as Earth prepared for what seemed like an impossible battle. "Admiral Reeves is hailing us," Ben called from the communication station. Jack nodded, and the Admiral's face appeared on the main screen. Her expression was grim but determined. "Mr. Thompson, the Vex will be here in 6 hours. Are your special preparations complete?" "Almost," Jack replied. "We're still uploading the last of the data." After returning to Earth, Old-Timer had revealed the ship's final secret. The Harbinger contained not just advanced weapons, but the complete technological knowledge of the predecessors. Blueprints, manufacturing techniques, scientific principles. It was designed to give this knowledge to any species facing extinction from the Vex. "Good," the Admiral said. "Our engineers have already implemented some of the shield technology. It's crude, but it's better than nothing." It won't be enough, Jack said honestly. Not against their main weapons. Then I hope your ship is as powerful as you claim, Admiral Reeves replied before ending the transmission. Jack turned to find Commander Wilson watching him. She's right to be worried, Wilson said. Even with the Harbinger, our odds aren't good. Which is why we need to finish the upload, Jack replied, moving back to the command chair. Old-timer status. Upload is at 89%, the AI responded. However, I must caution that even with this technology, Earth does not have time to build weapons that can match the Vex. They don't need to match them, Jack said. They just need to survive long enough for us to complete our mission. The plan was desperate. While Earth's forces engaged the Vex fleet, the Harbinger would target the command ship. If they could destroy it, the rest of the fleet might be thrown into confusion. Jack, Linda called from her station. We're detecting movement at the edge of the solar system. They're coming. The next few hours passed in tense preparation. The upload of predecessor technology was completed, giving Earth's scientists a treasure trove of knowledge, if humanity survived to use it. When the Vex fleet finally appeared, it seemed to fill the sky. 53 massive ships, moving in perfect formation toward Earth. All stations, report, Jack ordered. Engines at full power, Tom responded. Weapons charged and ready, Lieutenant Rogers added. Communications clear on all channels, then confirmed. Shields at maximum, Linda reported. Dr. Harris looked up from her station. Life support and medical all green. Wilson stood by Jack's chair. Looks like we're as ready as we'll ever be. Jack took a deep breath and opened a channel to Earth's fleet. This is Jack Thompson of the Harbinger. Remember the plan. Draw their attention, but stay out of range of their main weapons. We'll handle the command ship. Admiral Reeves' voice came through. Good luck, Harbinger. Earth is counting on you. The battle began with a blinding flash as the Vex fired their first volley. Earth's ships scattered, following the evasive patterns the Harbinger had taught them. Even so, 3 ships vanished in balls of fire. Here we go, Jack said. Through the neural link, he guided the Harbinger toward the heart of the Vex formation. The ship responded like it was part of his own body, dodging energy beams and missiles with impossible grace. They'd spotted us, Linda warned. 6 ships breaking formation to intercept. I see them, Jack replied calmly. The Harbinger's weapons fired, precise beams of energy that sliced through Vex shields. 2 enemy ships drifted powerless, their engines destroyed. But the Vex adapted quickly. Their next attack came from multiple directions at once, forcing Jack to dive the Harbinger into a spinning evasion pattern. Shields down to 60%, Linda reported as one beam grazed their hull. We can't fight them all, Wilson said. We need to reach the command ship. Jack nodded. Old-timer, it's time to show them what this ship can really do. Initiating full transformation, the AI announced. The Harbinger shuddered. The last vestiges of its disguise fell away as the ship's true form was finally revealed. Sleek black metal with pulsing blue energy lines, the ship stretched and expanded. Hidden weapon ports opened along its hull. The engines glowed with blinding intensity. Now that's a warship, Tom whispered in awe. Jack felt the power surge through the neural link. The Harbinger was now operating at its full capacity for the first time in thousands of years. They cut through the Vex formation like a knife, their weapons disabling any ship that came too close. Earth's fleet, seeing the Harbinger's transformation, fought with renewed hope. Command ship directly ahead, Linda announced. Their shields are strong, stronger than the others. Jack studied the massive Vex vessel through the Harbinger sensors. There, he said, pointing to a spot near the ship's center. That's their power core. It's too well protected, Wilson argued. We can't hit it from here. Jack smiled grimly. We're not going to hit it from here. We're going inside. Inside? Linda turned to stare at him. That's suicide. The Harbinger can do it, Jack insisted. Old-timer, prepare the phase drive. The AI hesitated. The phase drive has a 46% chance of failure. If it fails while we are inside the Vex ship, we'll be atomized, Jack finished. I know, but if we do nothing, Earth dies. The crew exchanged looks, then nodded one by one. Do it, Wilson said. The Harbinger accelerated toward the command ship, dodging defensive fire. At the last second, the phase drive activated, a technology beyond even humanity's understanding. The ship's atoms began to vibrate at a different frequency, allowing it to pass through solid matter. They entered the Vex command ship like a ghost passing through a wall. Inside was a vast chamber filled with pulsing organic technology. There's the core, Linda pointed. Firing, Rogers announced. The Harbinger unleashed its most powerful weapon, a concentrated burst of energy that struck the Vex power core. The reaction was immediate. Energy surged through the command ship's systems. Get us out of here, Wilson shouted. Jack was already guiding the ship back toward the hull, the phase drive struggling to maintain integrity as explosions began throughout the Vex vessel. They emerged into space just as the command ship began to break apart. The explosion sent a strange pulse of energy through the Vex fleet. One by one, the massive ships went dark. What's happening? Dr. Harris asked, staring at her readings. The command ship controlled them all, Jack explained, remembering what Old-Timer had taught him. Without it, they can't function. On the communication channels, cheers erupted from Earth's fleet. The remaining Vex ships drifted powerless in space. We did it, Linda said, disbelief in her voice. We actually did it. Jack leaned back in his chair, exhausted but smiling. The predecessors would be proud. 3 months later, Jack stood in the Harbinger's command center with Linda and Admiral Reeves. Earth was already changed. With the predecessor technology, humanity was advancing at an incredible pace. So, what will you do now? The Admiral asked. Jack looked at Linda, who smiled back at him. Old-Timer says there are other civilizations out there. Other worlds that might face the Vex someday. The predecessors built this ship to find allies, Linda added. To help others stand against the darkness. Seems like a worthy mission to continue. Admiral Reeves nodded. Earth will miss you, but I understand. Just promise you'll come back sometimes. After all, this is home. Jack gazed out at the stars through the viewport. What had started as a piece of space junk had become humanity's salvation, and now it would be their guide to the stars. We'll be back, he promised. But first, we have a galaxy to explore.